Another tough one took on the chin on Friday. How have you kind of been able to digest this one as you guys have kind of had a chance to look it all over?
I mean, we just made too many mistakes. It's the same story we had against Shoemaker. It's just untimely turnovers and penalties. And this time we really had some penalties that hurt us bad because they actually occurred while we got a turnover. So just things that any team that plays high school football that turns the ball over is probably going to lose. So that's what we've done in the first two games, and we've got to get that corrected. And we're working hard to get it corrected. So that's where we're at. We're learning from it, and I feel like we're getting better, and hopefully it'll show up on Friday.
I saw the Standard Times, like I read the Standard Times deal, and I think you were quoted just saying that, turnovers and penalties, obviously, but there were other things that go along it, just a lot that needs to really be corrected.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get you to like, hey, here's the list, but, what are some of those other things that you're kind of looking
Well,
at?
it's obvious. We got to tackle better. We're not tackling very well in the secondary. We're blowing coverages in the secondary. Our secondary hasn't been playing very good against the run or the pass. So I'm a little bit. It's a little bit of a mystery because I thought we were really going to be better there. I felt like our talent level was a little better than it was last year, and that we were going to perform better there, but we haven't. And that's a fact. And we're doing some things to adjust it and get it better, and hopefully it'll pay off. We're going to work on it this week in practice and then see how it goes.
Coach, you're playing, obviously another really good team this week. I think they're up to number 3 in the 5AD2 now. So it's going to be a tough game, thinking about winning, of course you want to win, but win or lose, you just want to kind of have like more of a clean game for one thing to get better and to build confidence.
Well, we want to win, man. That's nothing. There ain't no substitute for winning. We got to find ways to win, and part of that is eliminating mistakes that keep you from winning. So we're gonna do everything we can to put together a football team that can go out and be competitive on every Friday night, and it's what our kids expect. That's what we expect. It's what this community expects, and we're working hard to get it.
Coach, we were hearing some things around the program that potentially Malachi Brown could be, benched, and Tyler Hill could be your new QB1. I know there was some experimentation with that. Is there any substance to that?
No, not at all. Not in any way. We're just trying to find our football team, man. We're experimenting. We're playing games that they're important games to us. We want to win them, but they're not the ones that are going to keep us from being in the playoffs. And we're trying to figure out what's our best combination to move the football and try to win football games. Nobody in 6A football can win games without scoring like in the 20s, 30s every time you look, especially if you're playing good 6A competition. So you've got to get your offense going. You're not going to hold people to 14 points like it was in the 70s. That doesn't exist. Even teams that run ball control offenses are going to score in the 30s. So you've got to score, and you've got to do your best to keep them down from scoring, obviously. But you have to score, and so we were shut out for the first time since I've been here in a regular season game. So that's not good, man. And it's not the scheme. The scheme is fine. We got to catch the ball and keep it in our hands when we go to the ground. We got to catch the ball in the end zone when it's right in our hands. We got to catch the ball on screens that are right in our hands. We had 2 turnovers. Neither one of them were our quarterback's fault. If we're a tougher receiver, we don't have those turnovers. One of them went right off his hands. The other one, the kid had it in his possession and got it taken away from him. So, no, we're doing what we do. It's successful. It'll work. We just got to do it without the mistakes.
You talk about the good 6A competition, especially what you guys have played so far this season. You got another one against the 3rd-ranked team in the state this week. What are you kind of telling your team to kind of – okay, well, we always talk about how it's important to play the tough competition before district is ready. What are you kind of telling them so that they are getting prepared for district play with the tough competition, but they're also not losing confidence?
If you've got a good football program, which I think we do, you want to play good people. You want to play good, tough competition and play good against them and get better. You know, we have played two really good football teams and we haven't played well in either game. It's not because of who we're playing. I mean, Shoemaker and Schertz are two good 6A programs, but we should be at that level too. You know, we just haven't played well. If you take away all our mistakes, those games are way closer. But that's a loser's excuse. You know, that's what people that are 0-2, they sit around and try to drum up reasons why. And I know the reason why. You know, we are turning the ball over at a high rate, and we are killing ourselves with penalties at a high rate. And it's not one kid, it's not two kids. It's, you know, 5 or 6 different kids doing something that's not very smart. And we're going to get better. I want to play tough people. There's no way that winning a game 56-0 against somebody helps you, okay? That's my philosophy. I want to play good, tough competition, find out where we're weak, try to fix it, and move on. But the penalties and the turnovers, those are self-inflicted. Those are our fault, you know. It'd be different if it was a hustle penalty, like I've talked about before. These are pre-snap, some of them, you know. The one that cost us the interception was a pre-snap penalty, just not lining up properly. I mean, a senior. So it's not like you can say, well, the kid's young and all that other excuse crap. We're just not playing well, and we've got to fix it. And we are trying to. I mean, we're working hard. Our kids are working hard. The attitude is good. We're going to show up. We did today, and everything was great. We had a great practice. Tomorrow we'll be here again ready to go, and that's how you get better.
Coach, last year, through any little bit of adversity you guys faced, you stood up there and preached that you guys were staying positive in the locker room and nobody was hanging their head. Is that the same this season?
Yes. We're not going to hang our head. Hanging your head does you no good. You know, the past does you no good. Learn from it. You know, we learned from it on Saturday. We watched the film. We put it away. We made a game plan for the next game, and part of that game plan is trying to fix some of our mistakes, and that's it. You know, they show up today. It's a new week, man. That's the best thing about this sport and every sport is you can put it in the past and move on to the next one, you know. All of our goals are in front of us, all of them. And we knew these 3 games were going to be tough, you know. We knew that from the very beginning, and that's fine. You know, we're not panicking. I mean, the kind of y'all's questions are kind of like, is there a panic? No, there's no panic.
Is any of this, you know, like it sounds like these kind of mistakes, it could be like a lack of focus or concentration?
Sure they are. That's exactly what they are. Yeah, lack of focus is what causes pre-snap penalties, and lack of focus is what causes turnovers. There's no doubt about that, and it's not from a lack of effort and emphasis. You know, it's just sometimes, you know, young people are between 15 and 18 years old. They're going to be making some mistakes, but we've got to clean it up. You know, we're past the point of varsity experience and, you know, the speed of the game and all the other things that we could sit up here and talk about. That should all be things that we're very aware of now, so let's go play.
A&M Consolidated, you know, that's a good program.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned 3-game stretch and all of that, but just all the other stuff aside, focusing on A&M Consolidated this week, they had a lot of kids that graduated, but they are in and out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, always good, and they just seem to fill those kids right in there. Looking at them as a football team, what have you really seen so far on film?
They're a good team, man. They're 2-0. Lee Fedora does a fantastic job there. He was took Navasota to the state championship. He's a well-known, respected coach, and he's got those guys ready, and they're always going to play hard. You know, they're always going to be good, and that's what they are this year. You know, they got a really good-looking football team. They get after you. They're going to run to the football. They got a good scheme. It's not any different than some of the other. You know, they're a lot like Schertz Clemens. They got a similar scheme to them, but you know, a good, solid high school football team that we need to go and play our best and see kind of where we match up. You know, it's all 3 of these games, Shoemaker and Clemens and A&M, they're all quality programs, and we are finding out a lot about ourselves, and we just got to eliminate the things that we're doing to ourselves. And we can do that. I think we can play with all of them. I think we would have played with Schertz better had we, you know, we're inside the 23 times. and we have a defensive turnover that gets taken away because of ourselves. I mean, those were things that if we get those in, it's a tight game at halftime. We're in the game, momentum, all that's different. But it didn't happen because of what we do to ourselves. And once we get that cleaned up, and I feel confident we're going to, then I think we're going to have a pretty good team.
Coach, how crucial is this week to put forth, what you're saying?
It's crucial. I mean, we got to get off the, we got to win a game. Now, everyone feels better when you win a game. Even when you don't, you might play bad and you win, you feel a lot better than if you play good and lose. I mean, you really do. So nothing replaces winning, and you have to, it becomes a culture. It becomes what you expect. And this group is going to be all right. I'm not in any way upset about what we are doing. It's just we just got to fix our mistakes.
Kind of hitting off of that, you mentioned the panicking stuff. Because if you do look at it, like on paper, both of the teams that you just played, without looking at them or anything, going into it, you knew they were going to be good.
Yeah.
Played them, clearly good football teams. But, I guess maybe your response to fans out there and just general anyone, like, why is it that they should just calm down, take a breath for a second, and realize that this is going to be okay?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the fans are the fans. I mean, that's why they call them fans, fanatics. If they're true fans, they're fanatic about their team, whatever it is. And usually fanatics are a little bit irrational, So I don't expect them to understand because there's no way they could understand because they're not in our house. They're not in our practice, in our dressing room, in our, they don't know what we're doing or how we're doing it. All they see is what they see on Friday, and that's the way it needs to be, And I want them to be passionate. I want them to be mad that we're not good. Shoot, when I first got here, nobody cared if we were good or not. So it's good, man. No one is going to try harder or work harder or try to fix this more than this program is. So this coaching staff, these players, and when you get right down to it, that's all you can do, man. You just show up every day and you try to get better and you work and, keep doing what you do that is good and then just try to fix your mistakes on Friday. And that's where we're heading. Okay?
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Good.
You bet, man.